Alright, listen up, folks. Story time about the worst town in America, possibly the world. Grayson, Kentucky, which we arrived in last night, maybe 11 p.m. Checked into our hotel, put our bags down.
The hotel lobby, the Super 8 motel that we stayed at, had like a summer, sort of like ambiguously Hawaiian theme to its lobby, and there was all these like really cheap decorations that were like pasted to the front desk and hanging from the ceiling, and like also like really blue fluorescent lights. And also it was like absolutely freezing in there, and just like already kind of set a weird tone for the rest of the evening.
The like tiki decor in the hotel lobby was only one of many details that were just straight up Lynchian. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Like, why is a party happening in this Super 8 motel lobby? I asked them if the decorations were always up, and they said yeah. And so it's like a purgatorial party, and just out of whack. Just the time was out of joint.
Yeah, I think purgatorial would be a word that you could like generally describe that evening with. That was
like we were afraid we might never be able to leave Grayson.
We really were. Like, it's not even a joke. I like got into a mindset there that like by the time we got done at Huddle House, like I'm not even kidding you, I really was worried about whether or not we were going to be able to leave Grayson. Like, and I know that sounds really silly, but just like, I don't know, being there, like the cumulative effect of it makes you feel like really, really uneasy. Also, just like so everybody knows, when we were like a few miles away from Grayson, I had the realization that I had actually been to Grayson, Kentucky before. It was the place that I made the mistake of stopping at on my way to St. Louis from Chapel Hill in May, like when I made my drive back. And I like broke down and had a disgusting McDonald's lunch there, which I like regretted almost instantly. And then like I like had to make like a left turn out of the McDonald's, and like I couldn't because it was like weirdly too crowded, and like I don't know, I just remember thinking like, wow, this is the most fucked up place ever. And like I distinctly remember telling Jacob that on the phone. Like I was on the phone with him while I was in this town, and he's like, this place is fucked, like I need to get the hell out of here.
Things aren't so bad yet. Our hotel room kind of smells bad. Kind of smells like burnt rice or something like that. But nothing is horrible yet.
No.
So far, it's just your average small southern town.
But maybe like a few signs that like things might be slightly awry in this place. Leaving the freezing cold hotel to go get Huddle House because there's like no other option.
The Huddle House, which I was pretty sure was a diner when I saw it, but I wasn't even sure. I had to look it up, because who the fuck knows what a Huddle House is? And when you think about it, do you really want to be in a Huddle House? I fucking don't. It sounds dank and cold, wet, you gotta huddle together. Also brought Jane Addams' Hull House to mind. And I will say, after this experience, that I would much rather have been in the Hull House than the Huddle House.
Another sign was when we were leaving the hotel to go to the Huddle House, after we put our stuff in our room, we saw like a really sick looking cat that was like limping, and it looked like its fur was really matted. Like it was just like really old and like probably just a feral cat in this town. And it made me like feel I just felt horrible looking at it like limp along, and like we thought about maybe like giving it some food or something, but I don't know. I just felt like it was going to be so heartbreaking, depressing to like approach that animal and like see how badly it probably wanted like a home and to be taken care of. And like, since we didn't really have the resources for that, I just...
This cat was like a harbinger, however you say that word, of death. It was like a spirit of death. And I said, if we have any leftovers from the Huddle House, we'll bring them back and see if the cat's still around. Maybe feed it, give it some water.
Yeah.
Little did I know, there would be no leftovers from the Huddle House. So we get in the U-Haul, we drive the, half a mile down the state highway to the Huddle House, and as we approach the building, but a used car lot called Kentucky Classic Cars.
I think it was Kaiser's class.
Sorry, Kaiser's Classic Cars, and you best believe that they spelled all of those words with a K.
And they were lined up such that the three Ks were aligned vertically perfectly, so that there was no doubt.
There was no mistake.
Yeah.
that it was not just a reference to. It literally said KKK.
And that car lot was right next to the Huddle House. Like, from the Huddle House window where you're eating, you can see that sign. And when I saw that sign, like, I already kind of felt uneasy before that, but like when I saw that sign, I already kind of knew that like this wasn't going to be a very good dining experience for me, because like my stomach just kind of dropped. I felt really scared. Like, I already felt terrified after seeing that sign, because I guess like your mind goes so many places, but like among other things, I was just worried that like, okay, so just every person that we see in this Huddle House is okay with the KKK, I guess, like, because like it's right there.
Right.
So that was already really, really scary. But
Yes.
I had no idea what we were in for.
We get into the restaurant, we sit down, and on the TV right above us, just beginning, is Saturday Night Live, because it was like 11:30, and it was a rerun. But just remember that the whole time this experience is happening, SNL, a rerun from like 3 months ago, is playing on a TV, like angled down, facing us, just a few feet away. Like parodies of rap music, where the whole joke is that it's a white person rapping. Like, that's what SNL still thinks is funny in 2019. Piping in New York media into this tiny Kentucky diner, just so they can know like what the elitist liberals who look down on them are up to. It was like just a weird out of joint synchronicity of like, this doesn't belong here.
Just to say, like, on first glance at the menu, it didn't look that bad. It was a little bit meat heavy, but like, the pictures of the food looked alright, and I was really hungry, so I ordered a garden omelet and a blueberry pancake. And
With a side of fruit.
with a side of fruit.
And I ordered a turkey club, but I asked for no bacon and a side of sweet potato fries. So the first thing to happen was they're out of fruit. It happens.
No big deal.
No big deal. Kara was extremely gracious about it, as of course she was. That's just like a normal, banal, like, customer service, like, minor mistake. That's not a big deal. I'm a gracious person. I don't care about that kind of stuff. But when you add it all up, this experience becomes just dystopian, I think. And so it made me reconsider Kara's original visit to Grayson, where she can't take a left turn out of the McDonald's at 2 p.m. because the traffic is bumper to bumper. It's like, who are all these lost souls? I think they're souls that have been captured by Grayson, Kentucky, forced to live out a perpetual rush hour in the middle of the day, but then, on a Saturday night, it's empty except for the Huddle House. Got the hash browns instead. Wow. Had no idea what a mistake that would turn out to be.
So anyway, where do we start? Like, with when basically like the next part of the story is like our food comes and we start eating it. Like, I guess.
All right, our food comes. Kara eats her omelet.
I eat my omelet pretty quickly.
The first part of the meal that we eat, we're both very hungry,
yeah.
so it went down. Well, okay, the second thing was that they put the bacon on my sandwich. Our server was like an older Kentucky woman, sort of like, I don't know, how would you describe her?
Like, really long hair. I don't know.
But like
how
her
that-
mannerisms, she was a little like jumpy or something. She was like high energy or a little scattered, but
something about-
friendly. There's something weird.
There was something weird going on.
I don't want to say meth, but I'll just leave it at that. So I said, yeah, can you do the sandwich without bacon? And she said, that's how I get it. That's my favorite. So not only did I ask for it, it was like acknowledged, and I started to wonder if she was maybe actually mocking me. But at this point in the meal, I didn't have any reason to think that. I mean, I don't know when this thought occurred to me, but I was like, oh, KKK, I'm Jewish, I asked for no bacon, I kind of look Jewish. Like, is that where it started to go wrong? I just start to get real paranoid, sort of like, is that normal for that huddle house, or did we do something? The other thing that I did that may have tipped them off that we weren't their kind of people, that I tried to order a seltzer water in the beginning, and she gave me the blank look that you often get, and I was like, bubbly water? They're like, no, we don't have that. So I'm thinking maybe seltzer water plus no bacon in the KKK huddle house was enough to make us a target, except that's so paranoid and it can't be true, but was it true? I kind of feel like it was. We read reviews also of the huddle house just to see, and a lot of them were glowing. When did you start to feel sick, Kara?
I think probably like halfway through my omelet, even though I finished it, I was like, what? This pancake, disgusting, omelet, gross, but I ate all of it anyway, which I really regret at this point. Normal hash browns, like, even if they're not fresh, they have like the texture and shape of like little shreds of like potato, so like they have different shapes and sizes, and they're kind of like thin, and I don't know, they have sort of they're not very like chewy, but like these were like discrete like little tubes, and they had like a plasticky texture, and like essentially no taste other than like maybe oil, and like the top of it was burnt and the bottom was burnt, but then like the middle was just like lukewarm, like beige colored like little tubes. They kind of looked like they sort of had like a maggoty look to them. Like it was absolutely disgusting. Like no hash browns I've ever had have even come close to how like bad and weird these hash browns were. So the taste in all of the food, like it all had a taste that I'd never really detected in food before. Like there was just something really off about all of it. Like there's something about that omelet, I couldn't really put my finger on it, but like something was really weird about it.
If you had to describe the taste, how would you?
Just some kind of like flavorant or additive or something that I've never encountered before. I mean, the omelet was really, really greasy, like incredibly greasy, and it tasted like they put cheese on it, and the cheese that they put on it kind of tasted like nacho cheese or like a liquefied like Velveeta cheese. Like it wasn't like refrigerated like solid cheese that they put on it. It was like already liquid when they put it in the omelet. Like that's all I know. I ate the omelet, started to feel kind of sick halfway through, and then they put the blueberry pancake in front of me, which, by the way, I was really looking forward to because I love pancakes, especially blueberry pancakes. And so I thought, well, how can you fuck up a blueberry pancake? Even like the worst, like Denny's in America can at least turn out like a pretty solid blueberry pancake. But like as soon as they put it in front of me, I was already like, uh-oh, because like it was like really huge and misshapen, but also like very, very burnt. Like, and I don't know, like that wasn't a great sign, but I thought like, well, okay, I've had overcooked pancakes before and they still taste pretty good, but like it did not taste right. Like, yeah, there was a sweetness to it, but like again, there was like something about that pancake, something about the way it tasted that was like very foreign to me.
I'm gonna take a stab at describing it, because it wasn't so much a flavor for me, and it was in my food too, as it was a feeling. Like as if you had taken a sip of a drink that you thought was water and it actually had alcohol in it, or that you thought, I don't know, sort of the water milk thing, but it's more like the way that in a good tasting cocktail you don't so much taste the alcohol, but you kind of feel it. Like it just felt something chemically, or like rat poison comes to mind, even though obviously I've never eaten that before. Even the ketchup was bad. Like Heinz ketchup out of the bottle was somehow disgusting tasting in this restaurant, and it had that same effect, or the same perception of like there's something else in this. And so I got like halfway through my sandwich. Kara's like halfway through everything except the omelet that she ate. I started to feel sick probably just as I finished the first half of that turkey sandwich. Mayonnaise on the bottom slathered on there, some weird cheese on top. Not even Juan tomato. I would have appreciated a Juan tomato. This is more like radioactive tomato. Like it was too red. The turkey itself, like the bread was toasted, but the turkey was still kind of cold.
This was like beyond the worst food I've ever had. Like, how did you put it last night, Jacob? Last night I said, this is hell. And then you replied something like...
I said something like, hell is too straightforward to describe this. This is twisted, bizarre, demented, deranged. In fact, fact, it expands one's very imagination of what bad is. And that's the Lynchian element, I think, is that like it's a diner next to the KKK classic car lot. And it's just like Americana in its most twisted and wrong
Debased.
form. Yeah, utterly debased. Oh, I remembered another sort of disturbing part. There was a baby in the huddle house. Like, a woman walked in with a baby in a little carrier, and it seemed like maybe she was an employee there, but it wasn't her shift. She was just kind of hanging out, but she would periodically leave this baby, and other servers, other employees at the huddle house would like sort of keep an eye on this
sometimes
kid.
it was in the carrier in the corner of the huddle house, like unattended and crying. Like there was a point when that happened. Like there was like the baby was kind of whimpering and there was nobody over there.
It was just sort of like, are you being turned into the future KKK member, like baby of Grayson, Kentucky? Where are we in our story?
Well, I guess
We've put our forks down.
Yeah.
We're done with our food. We're feeling queasy. We're tired from the road. And we don't see our server for like another, I'm just gonna say like 20 to 30 minutes. We're sitting there. I'm like looking around for her the whole time and she's disappeared somewhere. SNL is still playing above us. Kara is utterly demoralized. She's in phone land on Twitter looking for any sort of jolt of pleasure, any escape from the horrible situation.
Jacob and I were like in this weird state of mind where like we weren't even like acknowledging the fact that she disappeared to each other very often. We were just sort of like, I don't know, losing our souls to the huddle house slowly.
I was maybe gonna get a to-go box just to put in a good showing, take some food back, but I was like, I really don't want this food. Like, I feel really bad eating it. I tried to take a bite of the second half of the sandwich and just the nausea was too strong. So finally Kara pays at the register, and not even that didn't go smoothly. And this is, I think, when you started to feel like we might not
Really
ever
trapped.
be allowed to leave Grayson, or
oh my
maybe
God.
not even this huddle house.
I was feeling so horrible at that point, you guys. And like looking back on it, it sounds a little bit silly, but like I really felt like so trapped and anxious, and like I really needed to get out of this huddle house. Otherwise, like I don't even know what was gonna happen to me. I get up to the counter to pay, and like she was taking a really long time to like tally up the bill, and like I was just getting really anxious. Like, okay, this is the part where she says, "Oh, wait a minute, I have to go get something," or "Oh, wait a minute, it seems that we forgot about something," like some reason why
your
we
card's
can't
been
leave.
declined. Or...
Yeah, like I was freaking out worried about that, but like finally, we get to pay for our food and leave.
We're in a U-Haul, by the way, so we're kind of making a spectacle backing in and out of the parking spots.
Yeah, we can't exactly like leave just
Like, we're, right, not discreetly, we're kind of marked.
by the time I got into the U-Haul, I just felt like so desperate to get back to the hotel, but like even the thought of going back to the hotel that didn't sound that comforting either. I just felt like we were trapped in this like horrible place, and I felt like there was no escape. Like I was glad that we left the huddle house, but I just felt like really hopeless, which sounds really silly, but I was not feeling well at all, mentally or physically.
So we get back to the lot, and there's a different mangy, emaciated cat in the parking lot, and it's like, how many of these guys are there? We didn't have any food because we left it at the huddle house. We got back to our hotel room, and both had to poop. I think Kara went first, and then I pooped.
Yeah,
And
can I tell them about my poop?
Please.
It's like, this is the detail I shared with Jacob after I did
this is
it.
good.
So I pooped, and like the weirdest thing about it was like the smell of my poop was actually like, it didn't smell good obviously, but it sort of comforted me because even though it's not a good smell, it's like a smell that I was familiar with, and that was able to give me like some solace and sense of relief in this like really foreign, hostile seeming place where there was just like no sensory familiarity whatsoever, not even on like basic foods like hash browns and eggs, which tasted like so like strange. So anyway, even like my poop comforted me.
Kara wanted to crawl up into the safety of her own colon, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And then I had to poop. So this is what I'm thinking. This is the working theory. they put laxatives in our food, but since we were kind of constipated, like little did they know we'd been on a road trip sitting in a U-Haul van all day, so we actually could use a dose of laxatives, and because neither of us ate our whole meal, like I ate half, Kara ate maybe just slightly more than half, we actually were dosed properly. So that's one hypothesis I have. Was there another one? I feel like we floated something else too.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Just that they made our food terrible because they didn't like the look of us. They could tell we were, I don't know, city slickers or something. Or that I was Jewish, or I don't know, maybe Kara, you look a little Jewish sometimes. We're probably reaching the end of the story.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just like spirits were really low after that. I think it took like 10 or 15 minutes for us to like get out of our funk enough to at least like, I don't know, have a sense of like solidarity and like be able to laugh about it a little bit. Like, okay, we're in this together at least, and like, I don't know. We had a good laugh about it, I think, eventually, but like even after that, like going to bed, I still felt like so uneasy and anxious and like seriously worried about like, I don't know what I thought was gonna happen. I was just like really worried and like just feeling so desperate to get out of it. Like I can't wait until it's tomorrow. I can't wait until we're allowed to leave. Like I don't want to be here anymore. I don't know. It was a horrible feeling. And then also, by the way, the entire night there were like really weird noises in the hotel. Like the pipes, like when somebody would turn on a shower and in a room nearby us, the pipes would make this like shrieking noise. That was pretty unnerving. This whole experience of being in this town, but like particularly the Huddle House, that culinary experience was so incredibly bad. It really, it just like opened our eyes to another dimension of how bad food and just like an experience of being at a restaurant can actually be. Like it was horror. Like it was
the worst food we've ever eaten. We both agree. We didn't know food could be that bad.
Not only did it taste horrible, but like it gave me the sense that like this is really bad for me. Like whatever I'm doing to myself by consuming this stuff, like it is not good. Like just glad we made it out of